scrolling TikTok like, these edits are straight fire. Then you open After Effects and the interface hits you with pure skill issue energy and be like, what the f? Today, I'm dropping the full blueprint. Beats, buttery Twixtor, text, and pro coloring. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to recreate this edit. I'll show you the fast way using plugins and how to do it completely free without them. To follow along, you just need your audio and your footage. You can find tracks on SoundCloud or YouTube and scene packs on YouTube or an editing Discord server. If you don't have a Discord server, just Google editing servers or check your favorite editor's bios. Grab your files and let's get to work. When you first open After Effects, this is where you import your videos and audio. This is the timeline where you edit the clips, and this window is where you control the preview. If your screen looks different than mine, just reset your workspace to the default layout like this. Alright, to bring your files in, simply double-click over here and select your stuff. Then grab your audio file and drop it onto this little icon. This creates a new composition. A composition is basically just the workspace where you actually build your video. To change your video size, press Ctrl-K. This is one of the most important shortcuts you need to remember. It opens your composition settings. I put the 4 most common video sizes that editors use on the screen right now. Pick the one you want and type the resolution right here. Next, to get a really smooth edit, change your frame rate to 60. Frame rate just means how many images flash on the screen per second. 60 will give us the smoothest slow motion later. Hit OK. If you press the spacebar, you can play the audio. Another way of doing that is to use the preview panel. We obviously don't want the whole song for this edit, just a specific part. Play the track to figure out the length of your edit, and then use these arrows to frame the audio. Once you're happy with the length, right-click up here and choose Trim Comp to Work Area. Now the timeline is trimmed. Next, we need to mark our beat drop so our clips sync perfectly with the music. Right-click the audio layer, go to Keyframe Assistant, and select Convert Audio to Keyframes. This creates a new guide layer for us. Select it and press U on your keyboard. Select the slider on both channels and click this. If you zoom in, you can easily spot exactly where the heavy beats hit. Put your time indicator right on those peaks, and click this icon to create a marker. Once you've marked all your beats, click this icon again and delete that guide layer. We don't need it anymore. Now we have to put our clips between those beat drops to sync them up. You can also double-click these markers to name them. I like to name the first one Intro. Double-click on your video. This opens the scene pack we used so we can trim out the parts we want and use them. You can drag this slider to preview the clip and find the exact part you want. Use plus or minus on your keyboard to zoom in and out. To crop the clip, just use these 2 icons. Now, go back to your main composition. Move your time indicator to where you want the clip to start. If you hold Shift, it will snap exactly onto your markers. Go back to your cropped clip, hit this icon, and it places it right on the marker. You'll notice the video is probably way too big for the screen. On the right side, you'll see the Properties panel. You can shrink it down by adjusting the scale and center it by adjusting the position. If you're on an older version of After Effects, select the video, press S for scale, hold Shift, and press P for position. But the absolute fastest way to make the clip fit your screen is just to right-click the video, go to Transform, and select Fit to Composition Height. To cut the video at the second marker, you have 2 options. You can either drag the edge of the clip and hold Shift to snap it to the marker, or you can just press Ctrl-Shift-D and delete the extra parts. It's a weird shortcut, but it's actually the most useful one in the software for cutting clips. Now, you just do the same thing for the rest of your edit. Drag the video to find the sweet spot, fit it to the screen, adjust the position, and press Ctrl-Shift-D to cut it. It might take a couple of tries to get used to, but it gets easier quickly. Don't forget to add a clip for the intro as well. Quick reminder to save your file every 5 to 10 minutes. Go to File and select Save As. or you can just use the shortcut Control S. You can mute the clips like this anytime. Now it's time for that smooth velocity style you see all over TikTok. You can use After Effects built-in time remapping, but the most popular way to do this is with a plugin called Twixtor Pro because it gives the best results. I'll show you both methods, starting with the built-in option so you don't need any plugins. You can skip this part if you have Twixtor. Right-click your clip, go to Time, and select Enable Time Remapping. Time remapping simply lets you speed up, slow down, or freeze any part of your video. You'll see this blue number pop up on your layer. This number just represents the exact frame your video is currently showing. Move to the beginning of your clip and click this diamond icon to add a keyframe. Then go to the very end and add another one. If you're new to editing, a keyframe is basically just a saved marker. It tells, I want the video to look exactly like this at this exact time. Right now, the speed between these keyframes is completely linear and we don't want that. Select your keyframes, right-click Keyframe Assistant and select Easy Ease, or just press F9. Now open your graph editor. You'll see the line is no longer perfectly straight. If your graph looks different than mine, just right-click and make sure Edit Value Graph is selected. We want the clip to start super fast, slow down right in the middle, and speed up again at the end. To do that, pull the handles so your graph forms a steep curve, exactly like this. If you play it back now, you'll notice it's not smooth at all. That's because when we force the video to slow down, there aren't enough actual frames to fill the gap. So it just stutters and repeats the same image over and over. To fix this instantly, click this frame blending box twice until you see this little arrow icon. This turns on pixel motion. Basically, the AI looks at your video and literally invents brand new fake frames to fill in the gaps. Now let's add that clean zoom effect. Right-click, create a new null layer and trim it down to the exact size of your clip. Now, why do we use a null instead of zooming the video directly? Because your video layers all have different scale values, and some of your clips might have a different center point, and that's not what we want. Instead, grab this swirl icon and parent your clip to the null. Now, whatever you do to this invisible layer, it will apply to your video. Create a scale keyframe at the beginning. Go to the end of the clip and change the scale to 120 to get a zoom in effect. Just like before, this zoom is linear and we don't want that. Select the keyframes, press F9, open the graph editor and make the exact same curve we made earlier. Turn on motion blur right here. Now we have a flawless velocity zoom. Finally, select both layers, right-click and hit Pre-Compose. Make sure these two options are checked and hit OK. Pre-composing is just like packing these layers inside a single folder so they act as one clean layer. Repeat this for the rest of the clips, then skip to the next part. Right now, your clips probably don't match the composition size perfectly. If we leave it like this, we might run into some issues later when adding velocity effects. To fix this, select your video, right-click, and hit Pre-Compose. Make sure these two boxes are checked and hit OK. Think of a pre-comp like putting your video into a sealed folder that acts as a layer. Go ahead and do this for the rest of your clips. Search for Twixtor Pro in your effects panel. Drag the effect onto your pre-comp. If you can't see this panel, just click Window up top and enable it. Before we touch the settings, you need to check the original frame rate of your video. Go to Project and find the scene pack that you downloaded. There, if you scroll right, it shows the frame rate. If you're editing a movie or TV show, it's usually 23 frames per second. Gaming clips are usually 60 and random videos usually sit around 30. If you downloaded a movie scene pack and it says it's higher than 23, it means there are duplicated frames. That will make your Twixtor look choppy and weird. You can fix it, but honestly, it's way easier to just download a scene pack that's already at 23. Once you know your frame rate, type it right in here. Change the image prep to contrast and edge enhance. We want the clip to start super fast, slow down in the middle, and then speed up again at the end. Move your time indicator to the very beginning of your clip and click this stopwatch icon next to speed. This lets us change the speed as the video plays. Set this first value to 500. Next, move to the middle of the clip where you want that slow motion to hit and change the speed down to 40%. Finally, go to the end of the clip and set it back to 500 so it speeds up into the next transition. Select your layer and press U on your keyboard. These 3 diamonds are called keyframes. They represent the speed values we just entered. As I move the time indicator, you can see the speed changing. Right now, though, the change is completely linear. Instead, we want the speed to transition smoothly with a curved motion. Highlight all 3 keyframes and press F9. Open your graph editor right here. Because we want the clip to slow down aggressively, you need to pull the handles so your graph looks exactly like this. You can also add motion blur right here to make it look even better. Set this value to 1. If you try to play your video right now, it's going to be insanely slow. Twixtor is a really heavy plugin. To fix the lag, go to this drop-down menu and change your preview resolution to 1/4. It'll look a little blurry, but it plays way faster. See this line right here? When it turns green or blue, it means your computer has fully rendered that part and it's ready to play without lag. To apply this effect for all the clips, you don't have to do all this from scratch. Just copy the Twixtor effect, go to the beginning of your second clip, and paste it. Press U to open the keyframes. You'll notice they probably don't line up perfectly with the new clip. To fix it, just highlight them, hold Alt, and drag them so they fit the layer. Do this for all of your clips. Let that green line render. Now you have a flawless velocity effect. You can now add effects like shakes, flashes, or face track to your edit. If you want to learn them, I've made separate tutorials that covers them in detail. You can check them out. For shakes, I've also included some free premium shake presets along with a tutorial on how to use them. But for this edit, we'll keep things clean. Most editors simply use a smooth zoom in or zoom out, which is exactly what we'll do here. To do that, double click on the first pre-comp layer that you made. We have to animate the scale for the clips. Here is the problem though. If you look at your video layers, you'll see the scale values are already totally different for each clip. Instead, right-click and create a null object. A null object is an invisible layer that you can use to control other layers all at once. Grab this little swirl icon on your video layer and drag it to the null object. Now, whatever you do to this invisible null layer automatically happens to your video. To make a clean zoom in, go to the start of the clip and create a scale keyframe on the null. Then go to the end of the clip and change the value to 120%. Now the video slowly zooms in as it plays. If you want it to zoom out, just do the exact opposite. To apply this to all your clips, you can just copy and paste this null layer above all your other clips. Just make sure your time indicator is at the very beginning of the layer, parent the video to the new null, and you're done. Repeat this for all your clips. Now, if you play the video back, you might notice some random black frames flashing between your clips. This happens sometimes when you pre-comp your layers. Just drag the clip slightly backward to cover the gap. Also, if you realize you don't like how a clip is framed, like maybe I want to hide this white door in the background, just double-click the pre-comp. You can adjust or even change the clip right inside here. And now that door is gone. The edit looks great so far, but we still need some text in the intro. Let's add some text to match the dialogue. You can change the volume by selecting the layer and pressing L on your keyboard. It helps you find the dialogues easier. Move your indicator to where the person is speaking. Right-click, create a new text layer, and press Ctrl-Shift-D to trim it to the right length. Double-click to type the text. Double-click on the text and then use this panel to adjust the font. I'm going to go with a nice yellow for this clip. For the rest of the text settings, either adjust them however you like or pause the video and copy mine. Let's make a simple pop-up animation for the text. Go to your effects panel, search for Fade Up Words, and drag it onto your text. Press U to reveal the keyframes so you can adjust how fast the text appears. I also want the text to smoothly fade out when it ends. To do that, press T to bring up your opacity. Drop a keyframe right near the end. Move forward a few frames and drop the opacity to 0. Now we have a solid text animation. Now we want to make this text glow. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. A free way without any plugins, and then the popular way by using the Deep Glow plugin. First, let's do the free way. Skip this part if you have the Deep Glow plugin. Select all your text layers and pre-compose them. Then press Ctrl D twice so you have 3 identical layers stacked on top of each other. Let's start with the bottom layer. Go to the effects panel and search for Fastbox Blur. Now drag it to the first layer. Increase the radius to 40 and change the iterations to 5. By the way, instead of constantly searching through the effects panel manually, you can download a free tool called FX Console to search and apply effects instantly with a hotkey. It saves so much time. Next, select the layer in the middle and apply the standard glow effect. Increase the glow radius to around 100 and change the glow colors to whatever fits your edit. Now for the layer on top, apply a drop shadow. Change the shadow color to match your glow. Set the direction to 180 degrees. Drop the distance to 0. Finally, change the softness to 50. Select that drop shadow effect and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Change the softness on the second shadow to 100. Duplicate it one more time and push the softness to 150. To make it actually look like a glowing screen, select your top layer, right-click, go to blending mode, and set it to add. Do the same for the layer in the middle. A blending mode just tells your layer exactly how to mix its light and colors with the video underneath it. You can even turn the bottom blur layer on or off depending on the exact vibe you want. Now we have a sick text glow with animation. Next, I'll show you the Deep Glow plugin method. You can skip this part if you want. Go to the effects panel and search for Deep Glow. Drop it on your text layer. Now tweak these 2 values until it looks good to you. For the rest of the dialogue, just duplicate your text layer with Ctrl D, move it to the next line, and change the words. For more text animations, you can use the free pack I mentioned earlier in this video. And if you want the flicker effect, I have a separate tutorial that shows you how to do it. I'll put the link in the description. Now it's time to add the coloring to the edit. There are actually a lot of ways to do this. You can do it completely without plugins, and I have full tutorials on my channel showing you how. You can pause the video here, check those out if you want, then come back. But in this video, I'll use a plugin called Magic Bullet Looks. It's the most popular way to color, and basically every major editor uses it. I'm going to show you a simple, clean color adjustment that works for almost any edit. First, create an adjustment layer and put it at the very top of your timeline. Anything you apply to this layer will automatically affect all the clips underneath it. In the effects panel, search for looks and apply it right onto that adjustment layer. Click Edit right here. Now we need to add some color adjustment tools here to tweak it. Inside the Tools menu, we are going to add Exposure, Contrast, Gradient, Clarity, and Hue Saturation. Increase the exposure slightly to brighten the video. Increase the contrast a little. For a vignette effect, reverse the gradient arrow and change the color to black. Increase the clarity slightly to keep the video sharp when you post it to TikTok. Finally, increase the saturation to make the colors pop. Here is a before and after. Hit OK. It might look a little too harsh, so I usually just go over here and drop the overall intensity of the effect down to 80%. If you want to learn how to use magic bullet looks, I've linked a tutorial in the description. I've also included some free high quality colorings for you to download and use. I'll use one of those colorings for this tutorial. Now we have a completely finished, sick looking edit, but before we actually render this out, one pro secret you should know is that editors usually run their final videos through an AI upscaler called Topaz to make them ridiculously sharp. If you want to learn how to do that, I have a full tutorial you can check out right here. I used it for this edit and now the video look way better. To export your video, go up to File, Export, and select Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. If you don't see this option, you probably just skipped installing it when you downloaded After Effects. No worries, you can totally render without Media Encoder, and I have another quick tutorial on my channel showing you how to do that. Once Media Encoder opens, click right here to change your preset. First, change your format to H.264 and set your preset to Match Source, High Bitrate. Click this Match Source button to make sure the sizing is right and check this box right here. Set your performance to Software Encoding and change your profile to High. Now for the most important part, the bitrate. Select VBR to pass. Change your maximum bitrate to 30. We want our final file size to be around 40 megabytes because that is the sweet spot before TikTok and Instagram completely ruin your video quality with their compression. To hit that size, set your target bitrate somewhere between 8 and 12. If you change the resolution of your output, which I really don't recommend, make sure to select this box at the bottom. But since we didn't do any upscaling, we will just leave it unchecked. Hit OK. Click here to choose where you want to save the video on your computer. And finally, click this green play button to render it out. Just a heads up, this render might take a while depending on your PC specs. If it's moving super slow, don't stress, just let it do its thing. Alright, that is how you make a full TikTok edit inside After Effects. If you watch this all the way through, you now have a seriously solid foundation in After Effects. From here, you can start studying viral edits on TikTok and actually understand how they are made. In fact, I have a challenge for you. You see this crazy viral flash effect that everyone uses right now? Do you think you can recreate it with what you just learned? Give it a shot. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll see you in the next one.